I feel the need for more power. Greetings and salutations, Relax Gamer Nation, and welcome back to Space Engineers Back to Basic. Today, we're going to look into extra power. Oh yeah. Which means, there's a few changes that need to be done around the base. The first change that I'm going to be doing is this. As of the last recording, well, actually, prior to the last, well, while I was on vacation, let's just say, we got some new blocks, which is great because we like blocks. Blocks are our friends, our very fine friends. And according to my to-do list, today's episode is going to be all about more power. And maybe upgrading to a refinery. I don't know yet. We'll see. So you're probably wondering what is going on here. Why do I have these funky looking... Oh, there's a funky looking things here. Well, they look really good at night. And you might notice... Let me switch it to night. That these markers are marking our path way over there. Why are these things going crazy? Oh, I know why. Because I set them on a power thing, so when this is using more power, it's gonna go and do more stuff. Let's just change that, shall we? I want them on all the time. There we go. Not at 0.82% of the time, all the time. So, more power. We have a lake, which is great, because that gives us ice, which allows us to get even more power. And I want to tear this down, and I want to put in some solar stuff. I'm going to put the day back to as it was. Our little scout rover. Last time we built this rover, now there were some comments about it, and as I mentioned before, this is not the ideal way to build a ground-based rover. There are other ways to build it, especially when you're mining. Some of the ways is to set up projectors so that it is welding down platforms, so you're going down at a simple... So the only way we can actually make this rover better is probably by bringing our hinges up to probably about eye level or just about even with the cargo container, top of the cargo container. Speaking of which, we have new cargo containers. I'm not sure if they are available for small ship. Cargo container, no, large ship only. Okay, that's fine. That is fine. But we need more power. I actually want to build an air miner, but I don't think we're going to get to that quite yet. That's going to require a lot more resources than what we actually have. Well, maybe not. Well, we need... Well, actually, we have plenty of cobalt, right? I'm not using any scripts, so I guess the best way to check this out is to go into the inventory, type in cobalt. We have 11.4k cobalt and 2.23 nickel. So we'll just switch that over for now. We have cobalt ingots somewhere, right? Yeah, right there. 1k of cobalt ingots. That should be good for a little bit. And that's just from using this miner to go over there and mine. As to these things, they're pretty sweet looking, eh? They're just a power system. Well, they're just a beacon, if you would. I wanted to make it kind of like Mad Maxy almost. So I did. I made it Mad Maxy, which is awesome. This was done in creative mode, obviously, and I started building these ones without creative mode. So this one's complete. This one still has some work to do. But it's just a bunch of blocks that make it look pretty dang cool. I like cool things. This also gives us a better way of actually seeing where we're going. But I digress. More power. Now is this blocking ice, or is ice free to go through? Or is ice? Ice is ore. This is blocking stone. Once we get a main refiner, we can actually get rid of these sorters. Because it... Oh, wait. Did I put that there? I don't know if I put that there in between episodes or if it was there before. I'm pretty sure I did it in between episodes. Because I wanted to talk about power. I think. So this is a hydrogen engine. It is the first consumable power generator that you can get on your base. This one uses hydrogen. So we need raw ice to get the hydrogen. And let's just check the small hydrogen tank and turn it off the stockpile and see how much we've got. Okay, we have 50% of that. Okay, that's good. This is not running right now, which is fine. I don't need it to run right now. We have batteries, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear down this tower, and I'm going to build a better tower. Theoretically. Something that looks a little more stable, if you would. So let me get to that, and I will bring you guys back in a second. Alrighty, so I created that tower, and I even prettied it up a little bit. You know, on top of towers, they have those clearance lights? Similar to what this little green light is. It's kind of like a clearance light. They usually have like blinkers at the top of the light. I'm not entirely sure what the colors are supposed to be, but I decided to go this way. And I even put some little warning flags using the hazard skin with the free light armor panels update. So yeah, there, the wind tower is up. To do that, I used the since we're talking about it, I got the tower clearance light here. I used the blink interval here on the light, and I set it to 1 second for the top white light, and then the blink length is 20 seconds, so that's how long it stays blinking for. Then the offset offsets it from the previous settings here, so it's offset by 20%. I think that's a little too much. Maybe. Let's do. Yeah, that's fine. So you can play around with those to get some nifty effects. Like I got a nifty effect here. Yep, it's pretty cool. So that when it's really dark, which it's getting close to being dark here, I can deal with that. Now there is a slight issue. Without scripts enabled, solar panels are a little less effective unless you have the timing correct. I am not a math wizard. I am not a math magician. Yes, I said math magician. I am not a mathematician. So I know you could probably take the day length and time it according to that and all this and that. And a script is easy enough to use, but I don't have scripts enabled on this world. Which I'm not sure if you want me to actually go into scripts here, or if you just want me to keep it as vanilla as possible. That's fine either way. But with solar panels, the only thing I can really do with the solar panel is probably just set up an angled field pointing in the likely direction of the sun, which I think is over there. And then connect it to the base over here. Now I can do that using a variety of ways. If I want an optimal angle, say 22, say 45 degrees or something like that, then I can hook it up to the base wherever, or I can just directly hook it up, or I can hook it up via hinges. So, for sake of simplicity, we are just going to do a direct hookup here. We're going to lay out a solar panel field here. Actually, I don't like what I did here, because I want to put a rotor on the end of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to build it out. 384, we'll do that. And then we're going to put a rotor on here. I'll put a rotor. Rotors are easy enough. I don't need to pull stuff through. And we want to lock that rotor. Do I not have them? Oh, wait, I know. I must pull the computers out already. That's fine, okay. Now, let's go grab our interior plates again. Which is part of the DLC. I don't need that. Do that, and then we will put a column in. And then, unfortunately, on the column, we gotta put... Actually, I could probably just put a half block on here. But we gotta transition it. Well, we don't gotta transition it. It's just... It's a personal choice. Now, this is at 0. Build vision. So let's find the rotor. Just in case we want to do some sort of timer shenanigans. So we're going to need to queue up some parts here. And I think I'll finish this up with some skid plates. Sometimes you just gotta re-clear things. Goes there. This is taking its sweet time. Let's talk about modules. We have an assembler here, and an assembler has multiple of these little squares, right? These are module update ports, or upgrade ports, rather. So this assembler has these upgrade ports on every side of it, which means we can put modules on every side if we have room. For an assembler, depending on what you're looking at, we have speed and power efficiency for our assembler. Speed makes things go faster, while the power efficiency makes it cost less power. And since my inventory is full, oh, my jetpack is low. So if you don't want it to take an age to get all your stuff put together, there is a couple of options here. The first option, add more assemblers. On those assemblers, add upgrade ports, add upgrade modules. It's a good idea to put your assemblers one away from each other, well, two. So if I have an assembler here and say I want to put an assembler here on an even plane here, then we can put a module, an upgrade module here and here.
Fuel critical.
In addition to that, we have a thing where we have multiple assemblers. If we have multiple assemblers, we can actually set them up to do a cooperative assembling. I do not have multiple assemblers here, but I will show you the button. So, on the assembler, Under our production menu, there is a toggle, but also in the basic control panel menu, there is cooperative mode. Do not enable cooperative mode on the host assembler. The host assembler being the assembler that you're assembling the stuff on. So if we had two assemblers here, and I put on a cooperative mode assembler, I don't want to have both assemblers set to cooperative mode. One assembler stays with cooperative mode off. The other assembler, we turn cooperative mode on. I'm not sure if I have the parts to show that off. I don't think I do. Can I do a little bit of a rig here? Probably. Let's do this. Let's go into creative mode here. Okay, I've cleared off in bar. Now we're going to bring an assembler in. While we're here, I might as well talk about the industrial assembler too. Okay, let's talk about assemblers here. So, an assembler has 4 sets of double ports on its sides. So for a basic assembler, the best orientation is something like up and down like that. Then from here, we can put on all these modules. I'll explain the modules here in a moment. So, what I put on my assembler here is a typical setup for most players. It has 3 of these speed modules, which increases the speed by a percentage, and I put on 1 power module. Now, the problem with this is now the only place we can access the assembler is via a control panel on the top, because we've covered all the other points. So as the assembler has the 3 power module, speed modules, it's 400% more productive. So if I take away one of these and look at it, it's now only 300%. So each one of these speed modules adds an additional 100% to the productivity. The power module, which is this one, the one with the 2 circular things on the end, is the power module. So what the power module does, it reduces the cost, the amount of electricity, the amount of power that's required for this to be used. So right now we're at 150% power efficiency and required input. Max required input. We're going to look at max required input is 1.5 megawatts. Okay? Take this off. Let's look at it again. So, now we're at 100% power efficiency, and max required input is 2.24 megawatts. Which may not seem like a lot, but when you're starting out, it is a lot. So in comparison, we had 224, and now we're down to 150. So that's a big savings on power. And we build things a lot faster, too. So we build things 400% faster than we could before. The same thing with the new assembler, which you can get from the DLCs. Now, I'm not going to tout the DLCs or anything like that, because they are great. I love DLCs. I'm like a DLC whore, I call myself. So with the assembler, the DLC assembler, which is part of the Industrial Warfare update, the Heavy Industry update, it also has 4 of these module slots, but it's also bigger, which can be both a good thing and a bad thing, depending on what you like. And there's no access to access anything in here. You have to basically access things from here, which is unfortunate, and I would like them to change that, but they may not change it. We'll see. So we can do the same thing here. We can put our power module up here, and then we can put our speed modules right here. Now keep in mind, every module you add to it, with exception to the power module, will increase its power requirement. As an example here, I'm going quickly, I think. So with the assembler here, the industrial heavy industry assembler, its max required input is 560 kilowatts. That's because it has no modules on it. Each one of these modules, I'll do a little bit of an example here, increases it by about 2. So now it requires 1.12 megawatts. So this is a balancing act depending on what you want. Do you want it to be really fast, or do you want to be power efficient? That's completely up to you. The power module, efficiency module, doesn't cost power, it gives power. If I can find the control panel here. So we have 150% efficiency, and it's now requiring only 374.49 kilowatts. So that's just a little bit of an example of what you should be looking for. Now, cooperative mode. First things first, cooperative mode has to be on the same grid. That is, you cannot cooperative mode on multiple grids. And they have to be connected via a pipe. And we're going to add some conveyors to it. So in here, I'm going to put a bunch of ingots in here. I'll shift F10 because I'm in cooperative. Iron ingots. Spawn in targeted. Nickel ingots, spawn in targeted. And silicon, where are you? Silicon, it's in alphabetical order. Silicon wafer, spawn in. So with cooperative mode off, these are working independently. They will not share their supplies of any sort. They will take what they want. You have to set it up yourself. So, frick, I can't access this right now. I'll just get rid of this. Sure, why not? No! Wrong one. Just put that there. So, cooperative mode, you can select cooperative mode down here in the control panel, or when you go to production, there are these two buttons. There is production queue, disable, enable, or disable cooperative mode, or enable or disable repeat mode. So if you want to build a lot of one thing, you can do that. Just gonna get rid of that. This, we're going to turn cooperative mode on. Now, if we do anything in this assembler, let's just build some, I don't know, technical components. It's working independently, so it's building the stuff over there, but it is not sharing its queue over here. So let's flip that around, shall we? So assembler 2 we have on cooperative mode. Assembler 1, let's put onto cooperative mode, and let's do the protected components. Now, you'll notice that now it is sharing the workload. This can make things go a lot faster. It requires a little bit more resources with building extra assemblers, but this speeds up your production of those components a hell of a lot faster than without cooperative mode. So now that I've ranted about that, I can't do anything else right now because I ranted about that. Anyway, so we have our solar thing up here. I'm going to delete this because we don't need it now. And I don't want to like bring the ore over and be accused of cheating or whatever. But that's a little bit about assemblers, cooperative mode, efficiencies, and modules. I think this video has gone on way longer than I intended, as seems to always be the case. We are in a storm. We have our power system here. What we're going to do is we're going to turn that off. So now these are producing power. A 45-degree angle, if you have no script or don't want to do the math on it, is pretty decent, as long as you know which way the sun is coming from. On the Terran planet, you can use solar or wind, or you can use, well, solar, wind, or hydrogen engines, until you can actually find uranium, which you won't be able to find until you get to space. Wow, so these are going to be producing... On the Terran planet, it is a good idea to use a combination of solar and wind. However, if you only have one option, or you only have enough material for one type, wind is your best bet. Solar requires solar, right? And it's putting out about 139 kilowatts, and that's pretty much at its max angle. So we're getting 155 kilowatts for the solar panels. And they take up a lot of room. That's why wind turbines are a lot better for a Terran planet, or even a planet with an atmosphere, like the Mars planet, the alien planet, Pertam, the Frostbite planet, Triton. Triton? Yeah. But wind turbines will not work on the moon. The planet needs to have an atmosphere. If you have no atmosphere, solar is the best way to go. Or if you have a lot of ice, your hydrogen generator engine is a good way to go. Because the hydrogen engine will put out 5 megawatts per. Oh, but it uses a lot of hydrogen. And it can go through that hydrogen pretty dang fast. Currently it's not outputting anything, so the hydrogen will last a while. But if this is your only source of power, then it's going to eat your hydrogen, your ice really fast. All my power that I'm getting is from my wind turbines, the solar panel, and the 2 batteries that I have in place. These take excess power, fully recharged, fully depleted, so they're kind of in -2 seconds. Interesting. They're in a constant loop there. But anyway, we got more power. We have our hydrogen engine, which I must have built in between episodes. That's the only explanation. Anyway, if this helped you out, or if you enjoy this type of content, or if you have any ideas of what I should do, for instance, do you want me to use scripts? If not, don't worry about it. I'm not going to use scripts, but if you do, if you say, please use scripts, I will gladly use scripts, because that makes solar panel targeting a lot better, and base management, and all sorts of stuff. But this world is base vanilla, no scripts. So this is what you would expect from just starting the game new. Anyway, until next time, I have been Relaxed Gamer, and I hope I was at least a little bit helpful. Anyway, ciao for now.